This morning on DC News Now, we're going to be tracking this cold front swinging through the area through the day today. That will be bringing a chance for some isolated showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. But then behind that cold front, much cooler air trickles in just in time for your Friday. I have more details coming up.
Also coming up this morning, indictment returned. We are breaking down the charges and what happens next for the man accused of targeting and killing homeless men in the district.
And rolling out rules, how Montgomery County is changing its policies after a football game fight.
And the Fed hikes interest rates once again. What this means for your wallet and the housing market coming up.
All right, it's 6 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Good morning to you. I'm Corey James.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. Thanks for starting your Thursday with us right here on DC News Now. Today is actually the first day of fall. Get excited for that. Meteorologist Jackie Layer is here to tell us when we're going to start to feel those cooler temperatures. Ooh, look at this. And Jackie, we're going to start feeling those cooler temperatures soon.
Oh, yes, so very soon, just because a cold front will be passing through the area today. And not only that, it will bring a chance for a few rain showers out there as that cold front progresses through the area. And then behind that cold front, much cooler air will trickle in as those temperatures will take a tumble just in time for Friday. Now, for the day today, we'll likely see high temperatures, upper 70s, right about 80, closer towards D.C., which is seasonable for this time of the year. But again, that cold front will be swinging through. Right now, though, it's mainly back out towards western Maryland. We're not seeing a big difference in those temperatures there quite yet. However, did see quite a few of those lighter rain showers earlier this morning, but those have since really fallen apart. Just a few light sprinkles associated with those still lingering right around the I-81 corridor. But temperatures out there right now are likely even, or at least close to where those high temperatures will be tomorrow afternoon. We're right at 72 in D.C., 68 in Leesburg, 65 in Woodstock, and Culpeper right around 70 down towards Fredericksburg. But timing it out, by about noon today, we'll likely see some rain showers, mainly behind the cold front, passing through the 95 corridor, so including D.C., as well as down towards Culpeper and Fredericksburg. Those quickly move out, and we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, say later on this afternoon. So some sun and cloud cover, but noticeably a difference in the wind direction to mainly back out of the north and west. Much cooler air trickles in as we look ahead towards tomorrow morning, and then by tomorrow afternoon we're back into the upper 60s for high temperatures. Bob, look ahead towards the rest of that 7-day coming up right now. I do want to toss it over to Shanika, the very latest on traffic. How's it looking out there?
Well, DC 295, Jackie, you're going to start to see some brake lights as you're heading further in toward the district. You're looking at live traffic cameras right near Eastern and Kenilworth Avenue. Let's check out Virginia. So we were dealing with some issues on the outer loop stretch. We've been talking about this all morning right before Georgetown Pike. That crash cleared, so you're not seeing anything right now. You might see some lingering delays, just slow moving traffic, but I do believe that crash is all gone. You're seeing all green. Also, more green on BW Parkway coming out of Baltimore, headed southbound in that Jessup area. You had a crash right between 175 and 32. They shut some of those lanes down, but right now they have reopened, and I see no delays there at all.
All right, Shanika, thank you. A D.C. man accused of targeting and killing homeless men across the district has been indicted by a grand jury.
Our Lex Juarez has been following this story since it first broke back in early March. She joins us now live outside of the courthouse with more on the charges and what's next. Lex, good morning.
Yeah, that's right. A grand jury is charging Gerald Brevard III with 17 charges. And not only that, they're considering this case a hate crime. Now, if we take a look at those charges, they include a first-degree murder charge, assault with intent to kill, aggravated assault, and multiple firearm charges. Taking a look back at what happened, the homeless community was shocked and scared as men were being targeted, attacked, and killed in their sleep. The increasingly violent attacks happened between March 3rd and 9th right here in the district. And then New York City officials joined the investigation after they said Brevard attacked and killed 2 men there on March 12th. But it wasn't until March 15th that they arrested him back here in D.C. Now, Brevard will be in court for his arraignment, and that will happen on October the 18th. As far as the 2 cases for the 2 men who were killed in New York City, well, we're still unsure about the charges he faces there. Live in Washington, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Thank you, Lex. New this morning, Fairfax County Police are searching for the men in these photos on your screen. They're wanted in a string of smash and grab robberies at jewelry stores in Virginia. The most recent one happened Tuesday at a jewelry store in Springfield, where police say a gun was used. The other two robberies happened on September 18th at Fair Oaks Mall and September 8th at Tyson's Corner Center. In all three cases, the robbers smashed the cases and stole high-end watches. If you know anything or have any information, you're asked to call Fairfax County Police. New this morning, police are looking for the person who they say vandalized the Vietnam Veterans Memorial on the mall this week. Take a look at these photos. They say someone set fire to a wreath that had been laid on the wall and one of the name directories. The National Park Service found the vandalism at about 9:30 Tuesday morning. This happened the very same day the Washington Monument was defaced. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund says it will replace the directory as soon as possible. And happening tonight, the Loudoun County School Board is set to discuss a new policy on sexually explicit content. Policy 5055 will require the county and its teachers to notify parents before sexually explicit content is presented in the classroom. This move comes after the Virginia Department of Education drafted a statewide policy requiring school systems to adopt the new rule. The rule would also allow parents the option to review the material and request an alternate assignment.
Your time right now is 6:06 this morning. Montgomery County leaders are cracking down after a huge fight at last Friday's football game.
That's right. School officials are rolling out some new safety measures for athletic events, and those rules take effect tomorrow. Our Cheyenne Corinne covers Montgomery County.
I will just direct any specific questions that may relate to charges from the police to our law enforcement partners.
These new safety guidelines go into effect this Friday, which includes students from the competing schools can still attend games with an ID, but all other school-age kids need a chaperone. Also, fans must be in the stands during the game, and no large gatherings are allowed. No backpacks also are allowed in, and there is no re-entry to events, and spectators will not be admitted after halftime.
One thing we have found in looking at the data from these incidents is that the students that have been participating in actions that are in direct conflict with our raised core values have been from schools that are not the two schools playing on that night.
Now, this is just Tier 1, which goes into effect Friday, but there are two other tiers that would only be implemented if necessary and there's a specific concern. Those further restrictions include only students of the home team attending games, closing concession stands, and changing game schedules.
Adults must model the behavior and the expectation, and that is my expectation, that adults model for our students. We will not tolerate any sort of indefensible or violent behaviors, because that then becomes a violation to our community.
Now, I saw on a football parents forum concerns that there just have not been enough referees at these games. So I asked MCPS officials directly, how many referees were on the field Friday night? Now, the director of athletics, he said there were 3, although they are allocated 6. Now, he pointed to the nationwide shortage of referees as to why, but said the school district is doing all that they can to improve their scheduling so that there's as many officials on that field as possible. I'm in Montgomery County, Maryland. I'm Cheyenne Corinne for DC News Now.
Major disaster declaration that the governor has asked for includes individual assistance. We will work with those families that had damages from both storms to make sure that they get the resources they need to do the temporary repairs that would be allowable if they're eligible.
And right now in Puerto Rico, more than 500,000 people are still without water and thousands more still in the dark after Hurricane Fiona made landfall on the island on Sunday. Still, some parts of the island have not fully recovered from Hurricane Maria, which was 5 years ago. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell did thank the Biden administration for quickly approving the emergency declaration earlier this week. Now, 4 days after Fiona destroyed roads, bridges, authorities are still having a hard time getting people across the island. Puerto Rico's government is working with religious groups and nonprofits to provide food, water, and medicine to those people who are stranded due to the storm. Right now, 6 towns have been cut off.
Your time right now is 6:09. The latest on former President Donald Trump. Another lawsuit filed against him this morning, alleging Trump consistently misled banks on the value of his assets to pad his personal wealth. The lawsuit was filed by New York Attorney General Letitia James. She asked the court to ban Donald Trump and his 3 oldest children from running a company in New York.
Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
According to the lawsuit, the former president claimed his Trump Tower apartment was 3 times its actual size and valued at $327 million. The Attorney General said no New York City apartment has ever sold for that much. Trump called the lawsuit another witch hunt. He also said James is, quote, a fraud who campaigned on a Get Trump platform on his social media site, Truth Social. And the former president finding himself in more legal trouble this morning after a federal appeals court allowed the Justice Department to use classified records seized from Donald Trump's Florida home in its criminal investigation. The court also noted Trump provided no evidence of declassifying the records and rejected that he could have an individual interest in the documents. Trump argues that he had absolute authority to declassify information while he was president. And new this morning, Thomas will testify. Virginia Thomas, a conservative activist and wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, agreed to an interview with the panel investigating the January 6th insurrection. The committee sought an interview with Thomas for months, hoping to learn about her role in overturning Trump's election defeat. The panel announced Wednesday it will reconvene on September 28th as they prepare to write a final report by the end of the year.
Happening today, a meet and greet with the Beagles. California Congressman Tony Cardenas and Cruelty Free International are hosting an event with the Beagles that were rescued from the Envigo Breeding and Research Facility in Virginia. The event will also highlight the congressman's companion animal release from Experiments Act. Now, this would require federally funded research facilities to create post-research adoption policies for dogs, cats, and rabbits. The event will run from 11 to 1 at the Rayburn House office in Southwest.